Best morning at Tashi Delay.
I'm Mikhaela GRADE.
And I am Bianca Joyce Segos, and we are here representing Grade 7 Section Makajos.
And for today's discussion is all about efficacy and long-term safety of a dengue vaccine in regions of endemic disease. Symptoms of dengue fever. For today is, first of all, it will start from a dengue pathogenesis and diseases. First of all, as you can see in this first picture, that a mosquito is on a human skin, and then goes to infection and early viremia and goes to disease. Symptoms of dengue fever. There are three phases: the febrile phase, the critical phase, and the recovery phase. If you have feel nose and mouth bleeding, and if you have feel diarrhea, rashes, and vomiting, you should need to go to your nearest clinic because probably you have a dengue fever. Now, let's move on to the hotspots of dengue cases in Asia. This is the image of mosquito carrier of dengue. This is a female mosquito, and it's on a human skin that this is magnified and microscope 30 times wider and larger that we can't see on our naked eyes. And now, this is the dengue statistic report in Asia. In Asia, it has 75 reported cases in the Asia. And the hotspots in Asia are Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Singapore. Here are the dengue reported cases in the Philippines graphic. As you can see, this is the map of the Philippines, and the red color represents the places where the dengue reported cases are more higher rate, that has a higher rate in the Philippines. And this is the reported dengue cases in the Philippines. On the other regions, it has 50.1%, and besides with the other regions here in the Philippines, we have Region 4A, Region 3, Region 10, Region 11, and Caraga region. Now, what is Dengvaxia and who invented Dengvaxia, partner?
Thank you, partner. Now let me tell you all about Dengvaxia. Dengvaxia is the first dengue vaccine to be licensed. In 2016, Dengvaxia commercially became available in 11 countries, and these are Mexico, the Philippines, Indonesia, Brazil, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Peru, Paraguay, Guatemala, Thailand, and Singapore. Its use is only limited to areas where the disease is common, as to places where there are low transmission rate areas that may increase dengue fever and more illness. And CYD-TDV sold under the brand name Dengvaxia and was made by Sanofi Pasteur. Now let us move on to how does Dengvaxia develop. Well, licensure means that a national regulatory authority reviewed all the data on the vaccine and has and found that the benefits outweigh the risks and permitted to the company to have a marketing authorization to sell the product in that country. The efficacy versus controversy of Dengvaxia vaccines. Partner?
As you can see on this first picture is that the community talking about Dengvaxia vaccines, and at the second picture, as you can see, that the Filipinos are having a protest to the Department of Health here in the Philippines, and also that they are protesting to Sanofi Pasteur. And as you can see on the third picture is the kid is terrified to have the dengue vaccine.
Most common side effects from the vaccine are muscle ache, headache, injection site pain, tiredness, feeling unwell, and fever. And these effects last up to 3 days and resolve on their own. These were described by the study participants who had received the vaccine, generally comparable to those who had received placebo control. The vaccine is designed to induce an immune response against each of the 4 dengue viruses. But there are no specific treatments for dengue fever. But until the Sanofi Pasteur, we must prevent primarily limited to vector control measures.
Now, the Philippine Department Department of Health action. The Philippine Department of Health Action suspended a school-based dengue vaccination because its product possesses higher risk to people without prior dengue infection. As a result, the dengue vaccine controversy or the dengue vaccine mess began to emerge following the several reports of children died because of this vaccine from various complications allegedly attributed to the dengue vaccine. Sanofi's Pasteur statement on the efficacy of dengue vaccine.
In December 2015 was the first dengue vaccine licensed. Partner.
So the dengue vaccine, so Sanofi's Pasteur statement on the dengue vaccine is that the vaccine has a lower risk of hospitalization, as you can see here, that he said that it has a lower risk of hospitalization for dengue during year 3 among vaccinated children who were 9 years of age or older than among controls.
Advantages and disadvantages of Dengvaxia. Turns out that the vaccine is 20 to 30% effective in higher transmission rate areas. And that is the good news each and every one of us wants to hear. But now here comes the bad news. If the vaccine enters low transmission rate areas, this may increase illness and hospitalizations. Conclusion and opinion/recommendation. Conclusion. Children younger than the age of 9 needs to be carefully monitored during long-term follow-ups rather than children ranging from 2 to 16 years of age, as they have lower vaccine groups than the control groups. What is your opinion about it, partner?
Thanks, partner. My opinion about Dengvaxia is that I wish that the Philippine Department of Health have a guidelines about Dengvaxia. And I wish that we as Filipinos or humans also at the other countries here in Asia should have let themselves to be clean on their surroundings. Like, clear the stocked water on a one place when it rains so that to avoid more dengue cases.
And my recommendation as a student that I would wish Sanofi Pasteur would make a total and specific research about the vaccine before it enters to furthermore other countries around the world.
And that's the end of our presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, good morning. So my question is regarding to the Dengvaxia data. You said a while ago that the DOH must have some guidelines in order for the Sanofi Pasteur to follow before they are to release a certain vaccine, right? Now, my question is, what do you think is the cause of that Dengvaxia brand? Because, as we all know, vaccines are not released to the public unless they undergo clinical trials and human trials. And if it is released to the public, that means that the clinical trials are somehow successful. But the question is, what do you think is the main cause of that Dengvaxia blunder?
I think the cause of the Dengvaxia, the Sanofi Pasteur wanted to help and reduce the dengue reported cases, not only here in the Philippines, also the other countries of Asia. As I told earlier, that the 6 countries, including Philippines, should have. That's why he wanted to help the children who were at the high risk of dengue fever in them.
But do you think that the symptoms that is being observed on those people who were vaccinated by the Dengvaxia, do you think that those symptoms are correlated with the vaccine itself, or is it correlated with other factors?
I think it's correlated to the other functions.
How come? How come that is correlated to the other factors?
Because not all of the person who have been vaccinated by this will feel that same way at how to the other person.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations for a job well done. May question ba ako? Nasagot na kasi yung tanong kaya no question.